Welcome to this next session in your study of agricultural science, brought to you exclusively by E-studylab. In our last conversation, you explored the different kinds of crops and began to see how agriculture is organized around the plants we grow and depend upon. Today, we go a step further. We move from what we grow to how we grow it. And this is where agriculture begins to feel truly practical. When you think about farming, it's easy to imagine only harvest time, baskets of maize, rows of cassava, or fruits ready to be picked. But long before any harvest, there is careful work beneath the surface. Good farming begins with sound decisions about how crops are cultivated, how the land is prepared, how seeds are planted, and how crops are cared for as they grow. Let's begin with cultivation. In other words, the way crops are grown on the land. One common method is growing the same crop on the same land year after year. This is known as continuous cultivation or monocropping. It may seem simple, but it places heavy demands on the soil. Over time, the land becomes exhausted if nutrients are not replaced, and pests and diseases begin to recognize that one crop as a steady food source. Now, contrast that with mixed cropping, where two or more crops grow together on the same land. You might plant maize alongside beans, or cassava alongside vegetables. Here, crops support one another. Some improve the soil, others provide shade, and together they reduce the chance that pests will wipe everything out at once. Crop rotation takes this idea even further. Instead of planting the same crop season after season, farmers change what they grow in a planned sequence. A root crop one season, a legume the next, maybe a cereal after that. The soil is rested and balanced. Nutrients are naturally restored. Disease cycles are broken. Without extra chemicals, the land begins to heal itself. Intercropping is another useful method. This is when different crops grow together, but in a planned pattern with clear spacing. Each plant has its place, access to light, and room to grow. It's not messy planting, it's intelligent design. And then there is agroforestry, which brings crops, trees, and sometimes animals into the same system. Trees protect the soil, slow erosion, provide shade, and may also give fruit, timber, or firewood. Farming becomes not just productive, but sustainable. Once cultivation methods are chosen, attention turns to soil preparation, perhaps the most important stage of all. Before anything can grow, the land must be ready. Farmers begin by removing weeds, rocks, and old plant matter. Not because the land must look neat, but because young crops need space, nutrients, and light. Clearing the land gives them a fighting chance. Next comes tilling, loosening the soil using hoes, ploughs or machines. This improves airflow in the soil and allows roots to push down easily. Water travels more easily, and nutrients become available. Then, fertilization follows. Sometimes the soil is enriched using compost, animal manure, or crop waste. Other times, mineral fertilizers are added carefully. Either way, the purpose is the same: to feed the soil, so the soil can feed the plant. Sometimes the farmer will test the soil. A simple test can reveal whether the soil is too acidic, too sandy, or starved of certain nutrients. Instead of guessing, the farmer works with knowledge. Farming becomes science, not chance. And once the soil is ready, we come to the moment of planting. Some crops prefer to be planted directly into the soil. Seeds like maize, beans, and carrots grow best when they are placed exactly where they will mature. No disturbance, no transplanting. Other crops begin life in a nursery. Seedlings are raised carefully until they are strong enough to survive in open fields. Mango trees, oranges, tomatoes. These begin protected, then are later transplanted into soil that is fully prepared to receive them. Some crops are broadcast, scattered over the land by hand or machine. Others are drilled in neat rows at the same depth, ensuring steady growth. Some are planted in hills, small raised mounds that improve water flow and warmth. Each method matches the nature of the crop. Farming is never random. Every action has reason behind it. And then comes the long part, crop management, the quiet labor that continues long after planting. Water must be supplied when rain is unreliable, sometimes through channels, sometimes with buckets, sometimes with irrigation systems. Crops must never be allowed to starve for water. Weeds, although small, steal nutrients and sunlight. They must be removed early before they spread. Some farmers weed by hand. Some use tools. Some apply herbicides. But it's important that this is done carefully and responsibly. Pests and diseases arrive, whether invited or not. They chew, eat, infect, and destroy. Farmers respond by choosing resistant planting varieties, introducing natural predators, or applying treatments with care and awareness. And crops must be fed again. Fertilizers are not a once-off event. Growing plants get hungry as they grow. The soil must keep giving. Finally, harvesting. Harvesting at the right time matters almost as much as planting at the right time. Too early and crops lack nutrients. Too late and they rot, dry, or waste away. The farmer reads color, texture, weight, and season, and then acts. At this stage, you may begin to see this clearly. Crop production is not guessing. It is planning. It is observation. It is patience. It is care. Before our next session, I'd like you to think in practical terms. Choose a crop you know well, perhaps maize, cassava, rice, tomatoes, or pepper. In your mind, walk through the journey that crop takes, from soil preparation to planting, to weeding, to harvesting. You'll be surprised how much meaning is hidden in that quiet reflection. A reminder that this lesson is protected by copyright and is owned by E-studylab. In our next lessons, we will move from crops to animals and begin exploring the world of livestock and animal husbandry, where growth, care, and science take on a living form.